Demetrius Andrade may face an undefeated knockout artist if Billy Joe Saunders is not approved to fight in October after failing a drug test. Stay tuned. Boxing Ego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing if you want to become part of the gang. Notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the Super Chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, and the Patreon family. We working. Now I want to give you guys the update. I broke the news on my channel. Billy Joe Saunders had failed a drug test and he's set to have a hearing with the state of Massachusetts. The fight was supposed to be initially WBO champion Billy Joe Saunders versus Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade in Boston in October. Main event for a DAZN card, which is the new venture, the streaming app from Eddie Hearn and the partners at DAZN. And it was just announced, like I said, I broke the story that Billy Joe Saunders had failed a drug test. Now, here's the situation. Billy Joe Saunders trains in the UK. He's from the UK. He was going to come to the States to fight. The substance that he had in his system is banned in the United States of America, where the fight is to be held, right? However, it's only banned in the UK if you test positive for that substance on the night of the fight, when they do like the medicals and, you know, you do blood and urine samples, you know, probably pre and post fight. If you test positive, if it shows up on that test, then, you know, it's an infraction and it's a failed test. And that's when the BB, the British Board of Control or whatnot, would penalize you and suspend you or strip you or whatever. But in the UK, I guess as it sits, you can have this banned substance that is banned in the United States in your system, right? And it's called oxyfilarine, or I don't know the clinical name, but you guys can Google it. And it's supposed to help with endurance. According to the statement and Billy Joe Saunders, they're claiming that he took some kind of nasal decongestant, which had this particular substance in it, and that's why it was flagged, or that's why it showed up. I don't know. I'm not a chemist, so I don't know if that's a logical story, but not a good look, you know, because obviously it's banned. Other people in different sports like cycling, sprinters, and I believe a baseball player have all been banned or suspended for portions of games or races and, you know, tournaments and stuff that they couldn't partake in because they had this in their system. So what we're waiting for right now is the state of Massachusetts to decide if Billy Joe Saunders is allowed to box. If they deem that he can't box because this is a banned substance and he tested positive over in the UK, you know, because I guess technically maybe it's a gray area. That's what they're hoping for. If he gets banned and the fight doesn't continue, then most likely he's going to be stripped of his WBO title, because that's not going to be in his favor. But if they allow the fight, then obviously he has to beat Demetrius Andrade, and I don't know what they're going to do if he beats Demetrius Andrade. So it's a real shaky ground right now. In my opinion, it's hard to tell, but I think this is similar to Canelo versus Golovkin. I think the fight will probably get scrapped. I would kind of be surprised if it isn't scrapped, just based on, you got to look at state athletic boards and commissions. They don't want to look like they're accepting somebody having something in their system that's on their ban list, you know? So typically the fight will get canceled. Even in the case of like with the WBC, the clean boxing program found Luis King Kong Ortiz with something in his system that he says he was taking hypertension or blood pressure pills. He was supposed to fight Deontay Wilder in November. The fight got scrapped. You know, it didn't happen when it was initially supposed to happen, and then Deontay Wilder went on to fight and knock out Bermane Stiverne. So usually what I've seen from these sanctioning bodies is they try to keep it as even Steven. You know, they don't want to give this bending and folding, because what's good for one is good for the bunch, you know. And if they start allowing people like Billy Joe Saunders to have a convenient excuse or say, hey, it was this and that, you know, a lot of times they'll choose not to do that, just so it doesn't give other people who are cheating in the sport hope that, hey, even if I have something in my system, all I could do is tell them a really good excuse, or say I took this supplement, was over the counter, that conveniently has this same particular, you know, compound in it or substance, and then they'll let me slide because I gave them a good excuse, you know. So from what I've seen from an ethical and morality standpoint is a lot of these athletic commissions and things like that, they just don't play, because they don't want to be the, you know, like, what if Demetrius Andre's never been like knocked out or stopped? What if he got violently knocked out or some shit? Now, you know, or what if, you know, something, you know, God forbid, something happened to a fighter after they tested positive? Then that's going to look really bad on the athletic commission, you know, because you sanctioned the fight and you allowed the fight to continue, and this person had something in their system. So more often than not, I would say the fight gets canceled. I have seen certain instances like Francisco Vargas. He tested positive for something in the Orlando Salido fight. He blamed the meat in Mexico, and they allowed him to fight at the StubHub, you know. So I don't know. Boxing's pretty corrupt, you know, money talk. So sometimes I guess people can make a call or pull strings. I don't really know. But by and large, I would say more often than not, they don't want that liability. So if, in fact, the Billy Joe Saunders fight does get canceled, which is what you guys seen, there's a knockout artist, and his nickname is similar or the same as Bernard Hopkins. His nickname is the Executioner. His name is Walter Cautandaqua. You know, I'm not really good with certain names. He's undefeated, 17-0, 16 knockouts. So he's 33 years old. He's from Namibia, and he has a 94% knockout ratio. And the thing about certain fighters from like different places, Ghana, or he's from Africa, so Namibia, is this: he has a high knockout percentage, but we don't really truly know because he hasn't fought world level competition. Like, if you go through his names, you'll see a lot of people with similar names and dialects and like African names and stuff, because he's fought mostly at home in Namibia, you know. So it's hard to see, like, power is power, but at the same time, it also does depend on who you're fighting. Like, if you're fighting a lot of local talent, maybe you're able to knock out some guys, but can you knock out the guys who are at world level, guys that have been into the Olympics and medaled silver and gold medal, you know, because that's who you'd be facing once you start fighting the best fighters from the US, the best fighters from the UK, best fighters from, you know, everywhere else, Mexico, Australia, different places. So does have a high knockout percentage, but again, he hasn't really fought anyone, so that could account for it. And he doesn't have the experience of a Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade, but it looks like that is the person. You guys will see the picture in this video. He's a knockout artist on paper, and that's who it looks like Demetrius Andrade is going to face. Eddie Hearn has some kind of side deal. If the Billy Joe Saunders falls through, then I believe Walter is up, and Walter K is going to be up fighting Demetrius Andrade, because, you know, this is a DAZN event. Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade is a DAZN fighter signed a couple fight deal or whatnot to DAZN, so they're not going to cancel on account of another fighter failing the drug test. Show must go on. So even if Billy Joe Saunders is ruled and deemed unfit to compete because he failed the drug test from Massachusetts, which, you know, like I said, in my opinion, I would say I've seen more cases where before the fight happens, the fight won't be allowed to continue. But we'll see. You know, boxing is weird like that. It looks like this is going to be the opponent who Andrade faces. Let me know what you guys think. If you've seen him fight, Walter K, he's from Namibia. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Make sure you smash the like button as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.